Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week with Peppermint Juju and The Chat Noir. This week's topic was finding the divine feminine in a masculine world. I came up with this topic and I've been wrestling with it all week long to try and figure out what exactly I wanted to say about it. As far as the masculine world part, we do live in a society that is very male dominated, along with the fact that a lot of our pantheons, even within the pagan religion, are male dominated. The head of the gods tends to be a male. Now, everyone can have their own patron gods and goddesses or matron goddesses and whatnot. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. However, I believe in a balanced theory, meaning that without female, there is no male. Without male, there is no female. Without light, there is no dark. Without good, there is no evil. What is there to compare it against if there is not something of the opposite? So, when it comes to breaking it down, I have to say that I have always believed in the duality of the divine. Even though in this day and age we have progressed further to say that it is a more equal society, I don't think that it is completely equal thus far. We still have the difference in the military where women cannot be on the front lines, even though they are, the rules state that they cannot be. There's still the difference in the jobs that are available for different ones. I mean, there are a few that come and go in there that are, they're female construction workers, whereas 40 years ago, that wouldn't necessarily have been a thing that was going on. There are male interior designers, there are male chefs. Well, actually, chefs are started out being male, and then it was very heavily male dominated, and now the females are coming in, even though it was expected that at home the females would be the ones doing the cooking. So it's kind of a wish wash, kind of, as to what is more male and what is more female. There's an entire community of androgynous individuals that you can even find here on YouTube. I mean, just look up androgyny, and there are a huge community of those that refer to themselves as androgynous individuals here on YouTube itself. The roles that have usually been assigned to male or female never really applied to the gods. I mean, you have Athena, who was a warrior goddess. You have Eros, who was the god of love, and he was male. You do have your typical stereotypes that are, you know, Hephaestus. I'm not really into Greek. I don't know why I'm thinking about Greek so much today. Probably because I watched Hercules last night. But Hephaestus was the forge master of the gods. He was the blacksmith to the gods. He did a very manly, quote unquote manly job. Whereas you would have someone like Demeter as the mother, as the harvest mother, taking care of the plants and the gardens and earth itself. So there's definitely, I think with gods, it can go either way because they are not human, but we assign such human characteristics to them that they don't necessarily always match up with our ideals. In certain paths, males are still that higher power. They're not necessarily equal to female, even though they would not necessarily talk down to a goddess. But a human woman is a different story. There's still that separation there. I have a female goddess as my main deity. However, I do always acknowledge the male in everything that I do, the masculine energy in everything that I do. When it comes to a home life, I think that there are still those couples out there that have those stereotypical roles. One is more powerful than the other, one has a more quote unquote masculine job than the other. We associate dominance with masculinity. I was actually having a conversation with my brother Al about this. And he actually was talking about how he was always the more dominant one of us, because I have a sister also, and saying that he was dominant simply because it showed masculinity. And I was saying that dominance and masculinity are not mutually exclusive. They just because you are dominant does not mean that you are masculine. However, in the past, that has been a showing of masculinity, was to be the dominant one. To be submissive was to be more feminine, was to be weaker. Just because you are submissive does not make you weaker. Being submissive is a choice. Being dominant is a choice. And there is no dominance without submission. You can sit there and spout off that you're dominant one way or another over and over and over again, but if no one submits to you, then you're not really dominant, are you? If you spout out that you like to be submissive, but no one dominates you, you are not really submissive. There's a whole, everybody wants to look to the BDSM, especially because of 50 Shades becoming so popular and whatnot. But this was all things that were happening before that even came around. These were all ideals that people thought of before it became a sexual nature. And it doesn't always have to refer to that either. I mean, most of the time it doesn't refer to that. And Xander saying hello again. But I think that people get so stuck on a certain piece of something that they cannot see the whole picture. And that's like focusing on a single uh, line in a drawing as compared to looking at the entire drawing itself. So, I guess, coming down to it, to say that we have lost that feminine due to the rise of masculine dominated religions is not very far off. I mean, in the 50s, there wasn't really a powerful feminine force to be seen, and that was a huge, blow to the Dianic cultures. When you look at different modern day religions that are out there, I mean, even Hinduism, they have like the three most powerful. I was looking this up last night. They have, is it Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva? They even have female counterparts that are their consorts. Then some people say that they're equal, some people say that they're not. But there is a female aspect to it. Where when you look at Christianity, God or the Godhead is masculine energy. They always say him, they always say, Father in heaven and whatnot. And then there's Jesus, and even Jesus was more important than his mother. The feminine energy that is there. He was more important than the person that gave birth to him. But if there was no Mary, there would not have been a Jesus. I mean, if anything, they're saying that the masculine energy is, if you look at it that way, they're saying that the masculine energy wasn't even that important because they didn't need a human male. but they needed a human female. They needed a mortal female to deliver the Christ. But Joseph was not needed because God could come down and do this. Why? Because he needed to be born on earth in order to, fulfill his mission and whatnot. But when I look at the conversion of, Germanic tribes to Christianity and whatnot over the years, I want to look towards the, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Mists of Avalon. But in that, it's talking about having, the primal religion, the goddess-based religion. And towards the end, she says that she becomes a nun. Uh, Spoiler alert. But in the end, she says that she had feared that the mother was lost, that the goddess was lost because of what had happened, and basically the Christians came in and overtook and whatnot. And she's kneeling in the church and she looks up and she sees the Virgin Mary. And she says something along the lines of, the goddess was not lost. She is just in hiding and can be found in the Virgin Mary. She's just sleeping. So I think it's time that we acknowledge that there is that duality, that there is sacredness in being female, in having that. Within a female, we carry life itself. So that's all I have to say for this week. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, all that fun stuff below. I will not be here for the hangout. I'm going to a festival. So hangout is on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me know what you think about the whole divine feminine sleeping kind of deal and all that stuff. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Blessed be. Love and light. Bye.